Hey everyone, this is my September 2016 sewing and pinup haul. This has been a huge month for me and Vintage on Tap. Like, so much stuff has been going on. I went on vacation. I'm actually kind of really excited to be back. So I'm going to be showing you everything that I bought this month, including some of the stuff that I bought on vacation, as well as the vintage fair that was here in San Francisco this past month. So go ahead and just get started. So the first thing that came up was actually the vintage fair. So I went to this before I took off for vacation. The vintage fair happens 2 times a year in San Francisco. There's also 2 events in Los Angeles, but haven't gotten a chance to go down there. Apparently Dita Von Teese shows up to that one every once in a while, which would be cool to go and see, but you know, so I bought some stuff here. I actually went for some very specific stuff just because, you know, I'm a little bit on the bigger side, so a lot of the clothes won't fit, and it's also just a lot of money. So I went specifically for sewing related stuff, and I only found one booth that was like chock full of buttons and fabric remnants and all this sort of thing, but I went straight for the vintage patterns, and there was huge containers, like boxes, at least 5 or 6 big boxes full of patterns. So I went there. They were all reasonably priced, thankfully, so I actually haven't had a chance to really research these patterns, see if they're worth more than what they were selling them for, or just general information about them. It's because there are a lot of patterns. I think I spent a total of maybe $30 on patterns, so big stack. Kind of got a bunch of different stuff, including like head wraps and stuff from like the 40s, stuff from like the 50s, 60s. Well, this is more 50s, some simplicity patterns. So the sizing on this kind of ranged all over the place. Some of it I will have to grade up. I think there is one pattern in here that would actually fit my current measurements, which is kind of exciting considering I've never really seen patterns that would fit me personally. I'm trying to find the one. Here it is. This one would actually for sure fit me. It's a half size, 22.5 size, with a bust of 48 inches. So that's actually kind of hilarious. I think this is a 60s pattern, but I haven't gotten a chance, as I said, to go through them and to really research them. But I'm excited because I'll be able to pull these out whenever. And I like that, you know, the vendor who was selling them actually had them wrapped up great. So don't have to worry about that. So the next big amount of purchases that I made were actually in preparation for my vacation. So I actually went to Vegas for my 30th birthday. I didn't go on the weekend of my birthday. I went a weekend or 2 afterwards. A friend of mine has been out there for about a year, and he turned 30 this year, and I've known him for, shoot, 20 years now almost. So we went out there, ran around Vegas. Thankfully he is into thrift store shopping and vintage shopping just as much as I am, so we kind of went down, I guess it was Main Street. I'm sure there's probably a name of the district, but it was about a block and a half of just non-stop thrift store, vintage store, thrift store, vintage store for a block and a half. I think there was at least 8 shops, and so we just started at the front and just worked our way down. I think by the end my hands kind of had that thrift store gross feeling on there from touching so much stuff. So yeah, of course, a little Purell there at the end, so that was cool. All right, so the first thing that I picked up was some stuff from a Goodwill, which the Goodwills here in San Francisco, not that great. People kind of go through them like crazy, but the Goodwills outside of San Francisco always have some good finds. So I was able to pick up this purse here with a bamboo handle for, I think I spent like $3 on this one. It's perfect. I mean, for not this time of year, but for spring and for outfits that I'll be making later on. I really like this guy, and it's a lot, pretty roomy, has a lot of space inside. This guy was for all my tiki outfits. This one I'm pretty sure is probably for kids, especially the brand that it is. It looks like it's probably a slightly modern one, but I just couldn't resist, and it is kind of a fun size for going out. So also probably about $3. Definitely really happy with both of these bags. When I was at the Goodwill, I also picked up some earrings, just because I have a lot of earrings, but I don't wear them enough, and I really do want to start wearing more. So I got these really pretty star pearl earrings. I think they cost me maybe $3 or so. They don't have the backs on them, so I do have to buy a set of like different backs, which I actually need for all my other ones. I would probably throw out all the earring backs for all my earrings and just switch them out with some new ones. So I got those earrings, and then I got another set which were kind of just funky. Wouldn't be surprised if these are a little bit more 70s, 80s, but I don't know, they were just kind of cool, so I picked these guys up. So that was at the Goodwill. Next place that I picked up some stuff was a Buffalo Exchange, which I was actually really surprised because I picked up actually a pair of shoes, which I forgot to grab, that were super cheap. I think I got them for like 15 bucks, some kitten heels, some red ones. And then I bought this jacket. So before I show you guys the jacket, I gotta say I have a jacket similar to it already that I bought a few years back at a swap meet. And when I bought it, I bought this jacket for about $35, the one a few years ago. Wool, feather trim, almost exactly like this one here, that I got for $17 at the Buffalo Exchange in Vegas. And the crazy thing about it is that they're selling it for $15, $17 for something with vintage fur on it. Insane. The moment I saw it, like, I grabbed it and I'm like, did anybody see me grab this? Awesome find. So it definitely needs to be taken in to be cleaned. It does have some little chunks taken out because of mothball, you know, like moths and stuff like that. The inside of it is in really good shape though. Unlike the other one that I have, that I do actually have to stitch the lining together. I just haven't had a chance to do it yet. And I need to figure out how to clean this fur because it is a little ragged. But I gotta say, I'm happy with this one just because I do need a new winter coat. And with it starting to get colder in San Francisco, I'll be able to wear this one on a daily, knowing that, yeah, I only spent $17 on it, so I can be a little bit more rough than I would be on the other one that's in a little bit better shape. So there's the jacket. And then the last stuff that I got when I was in Vegas was from a kind of like independent sort of pawn shop slash vintage store where it was just like a bunch of random stuff. I don't remember the name of it, but it was definitely one of those places that kind of had that really small town feel where it's just filled with crap everywhere. I found a case that was filled with Bakelite, but of course they knew what it was. They knew the Bakelite, so they sold that. They were selling it for like $65, $70 a bracelet, so I didn't even go there. But I did find these set of pamphlets, which I'm doing some research on eBay. I got a pretty good deal on these. So this is the Simplified Systems of Sewing and Styling. So these were released in the late 40s, and it is essentially like sewing guides. So essentially kind of like the more modern sewing books that are available, but this is straight up vintage techniques, real techniques, so to speak, not like shortcuts and stuff. So it goes, you know, each one of these pamphlets goes into different aspects of sewing, right? So this one is for cutting. I have one for assembly of the garments. I have one for fitting. This is all part of a set. They all go together. I'm missing two of the pamphlets though, but I did get these guys for $2.50 a piece, which looking at them on eBay, the whole set probably was 30 bucks, 40 bucks, something like that. I think I spent 20 with all of them. So I'm really excited to really kind of dive into those, compare them against what I have in a lot of the sewing books that I have today, see if I can really get some different information, or at the very least scan them so I can preserve them a little bit better than how these ones are, because you can start to see that these are pretty beat up, and at this point these are like 70-year-old little pamphlets. The last thing that I bought in September was actually from Sephora, because I kind of had a really difficult time this past month. I was trying to look for a setting powder from a makeup since I was going to Vegas, and I tried to go into the MAC Cosmetics store and got really awful service ended up going back and returning what I bought just because it was definitely not for me, which kind of disappointed me because I used to really like MAC. So I went into Sephora and I bought this Kat Von D translucent setting powder. It says setting powder and lockets translucent. So far, the first day I knew immediately that this was what I was going to keep. So it cost me about 30 bucks, and there's so much product in this, but I do need to get a smaller one because the holes on this release a lot of product, and I don't want to waste it. So I definitely want to get one of the travel size containers so I can transfer it over and just grab what I need from there. And then the second thing I got was this Urban Decay all-nighter setting spray. Lots of reviews about this on YouTube if you haven't already seen them. For me, because I have super dry skin, this has been great, especially after the setting powder. It makes my face not look cakey and dry. So this sets it great. My makeup stays a lot, and then this guy makes it so that my face doesn't look like a fucking powder cake. But anyway, so that was everything that I bought in the month of September. Glad that I got a lot of stuff used, not a lot of new stuff besides makeup. So anyway, I hope you guys liked this video. Definitely leave your comments down below if there was something that you saw that interests you, or if you had any really good finds in September. If you like this video, please give it the thumbs up and please subscribe. It definitely helps out a lot, and it shows that you guys are really interested in what I'm doing. So I hope you guys have a wonderful wrap up to the month, and have a good one. Bye.